Good evening, guys. I'm going to make a video presentation about remaining cargo to load. Um, our trimming hold is number 2 and 7, and this is a Panamax vessel. But here, we don't know exactly what is the remaining cargo to load. The question is, how much are we going to load in hold number 2 and hold number 7 so that we will have a trim of 30 centimeters. So let's start, guys. This is a problem. MB Max Panama is floating in a drop of forward of 12.25 meters. An updraft is 12.35 meters in a water density of 1.010. The remaining cargo to load was decided to load in hold number 2 and hold number 7 with a trim of 30 centimeters by the stern. Calculate how much to load in hold number 2 and number 7 of the desired trim. Take note, guys, that it never mentioned about how much are we going to load or the total cargo to be loaded in hold number 2 and number 7. But anyway, guys, let's start with the program. This is form number 6, which says how to find trim when handling several moderate weights. First, we put in the initial drop. Forward is 12.25. We put here 12.25, and updraft is 12.35. So you put it 12.35. Okay. Now the main drop is 35. We try to double check by calculator. This is 25. I'm sorry, this is 25. Okay. Forward is 12.25 and updraft is 12.35. So the main drop is 12.30 and the trim is 10. Okay. And as usual at port, when we are finishing our loading at berth, we stop at the desired drop to calculate for shipmate to calculate, and this pilot surveyor to calculate the remaining cargo on board. Okay, so the foreman has advised to stop the loading, and the chief officer and the drop surveyor are now reading the drop around the vessel. As they have agreed that forward drop will be 12.25 and updraft will be 12.35, and mid drop, the reading at mid sport was 12.30, and mid drop was 12.30, meaning no list. So the main drop and mean drop both are 12.30. Okay, 12.30. But here it never mentioned on how much are we going to load for the remaining cargo. If it is a Panamax vessel, usually it averages about 3,000 metric tons for trimming. So let's say, for example, 3,000 metric tons is for trimming or for a Panamax vessel. So what I do, I put here 3,000. Okay, the total cargo for trimming is 3,000, and here we have the TPC of the initial drop. So the TPC of initial drop is 63.85. Okay, 6385. I put here 6385. Then what you do, 3,000, you divide it by 6385, that will be 46.99. If you divide this by 100, because this is into centimeters, then that will be 0.47 metric tons, meters actually, 0.47 meters, which is this one. So with this 0.47 meters, with your main drop of 12.30, you add your, this is what you call the sinkage, okay? The sinkage, because you add this first of 12.30 plus 0.47, that will be your 12.77. That will be your final departure drop, okay? 12.77. Now, 12.77 minus your main drop or mid drop, that will be 0.47. And according to your problem, your density is 1.010 upon reading the drop. Okay? So while reading the drop, the density was 1.010. 1.010. And of course, when completion of loading, it will have the same density of 1.010. Okay? Now, take note, your mid drop is 12.30. So when you're loading 3,000 metric tons, the tendency of the vessel is to sink. Okay? So it takes 0.47 meters to reach the final or departure drop of 12.77. Okay? Which means the vessel has to sink until he reaches the final drop of 12.77. Okay? Or it takes 47 centimeters to reach 12.77, which is the final mid or your departure drop. Now, since you have already this final mid drop, you interpolate now the TPC of 12.77 with this one. So the interpolation, the value of TPC for 12.77 is 6417. Okay? So, now this sinkage of 47 centimeters, we convert this into metric tons. Okay? So you click here. This will be the value of metric tons of this 47 centimeters. What is the formula? When you click this one, then you have the formula here. K8, meaning letter K, and row number 8, that will be 0.47, times your M3, which is your M, and row 3, that will be 64.17 times 100. Okay? And you have a value of 3016. So, take out this one. Then you put equals. And it says, click from K8, K, and row 8, that will click this one. Times your M3, is M, which is your TPC, entry, you click this one, there you go, times 100, put here 100, then press enter, then you have 3016, okay? That will be the total amount of cargo to be loaded in hold number 2 and 7, so that you will reach a drop of 12.77. Okay? Now, you scroll down, follow this arrow. With this figure, you put it here, 3016. 3016. Once you have already loaded 3016 metric tons, what will be the result of your drop? Your mid drop will be 12.77, which is the same with your final drop, and your sinkage is 0.47, which is the same with your sinkage here. So it is confirmed that this is the right figure to load in your hold in your ship of 3016 metric tons. So this is the actual cargo to load for trimming, and we go now to trim holes 2. So we go to trim holes 2, and notice that the remaining cargo to load is now here. 3016, but also 3016. Our trimming hold is hold number 2 and 7. Enter 7. Okay. Then you scroll down. According to the problem, you are required to have 30 centimeters upon completion of your loading, as after finishing loading in hold number 2 and number 7, then you should have the trim of 30 centimeters by the stern. Okay? Upon completion of loading in hold number 2 and number 7. So here, you put here 30 centimeters. That's 0.30. Okay, once you put here your trim of 30 centimeters, then he will give you the value on hold number 2 and 7, what will be your amount of cargo to be loaded in number 2 and number 7. So in hold number 2, you are to load with 1405. Round it up, 1405. So I put here 1405, and number 7 should you load 1611. 1611. That is number 7. And your departure drop will be, forward will be 12.62, up drop will be 12.92, and your trim will be 30 centimeters as required by the problem. So it is required here, should have a trim 30 centimeters by the stern. So you hit your target, you are now trimmed by the stern of 30 centimeters, and your main drop is 12.77, and you have a deflection of 0. So your mid drop, which is 12.77, put this equals, you go to form number 6, and this will be your mid drop. After you have loaded 3016, this will be your mid drop. Press enter, then here is your mid drop, and press enter equals to get your main drop, which is this one, and enter, then you are 0 deflection. Okay, then the name of this program, by the way, is trimming with 2 holds. Okay, that is trim 2 holds. Then you go to form number 6. Okay, this is your initial drop, and this is the value of the cargo when you load into hold number 2 of 1405. 7 is 1611. So you have here hold 1 and 2 and 7, and hold number 2 you load 1405, which is this one, and hold number 7 is 1611. These are the LCGs of each hold, and your final drop or departure drop will be, forward is 12.62, up drop is 12.92. You have a trim of 30 centimeters, and your main drop is 12.77, and your deflection is 0. Take note of this one, 12.62 and 12.92. You have the same figure here in trim holes 2. Forward is 12.62, up is 12.92, and your trim is 30 centimeters and your main is 12.77. Now we go now to the trim table. Okay. In trim table, you have here the remaining cargo to load is 31.6. You have the trimming holes of 2 and 7 and the cargoes to be loaded in number 2 and number 7. This is your initial drop of 12.25 forward, up is 12.35. Your main is 12.0. Your main is 12.30 and your trim is 10 or 0.10. Okay? Once you have already input your weight to each hold, it is now, we are going to look now for the forward and up correction of in hold number 2, and in number 7 we have to look for the forward and up correction. So where can we find it? We can find it in the trimming table. Okay, so this is the name of the vessel. This is the draft from 2 meters up to 14 meters, and these are the cargo holds. These are forward and up correction. Our departure drop is, take note, our departure drop is 12.77, so that is almost 13 meters. Okay, 13 meters. So this is, we get the forward and up corrections from 13 meters, okay? So we start first with hold number 2, you slide this a little bit. And this is now 13 meters, forward correction and up correction. So forward correction is 4.8 positive. Excuse me, what's it? 4.8, okay? You put here 4.8 positive, 4.8. And up correction is negative 1.7. So put here negative 1.7. And hold number 7, forward correction. We go to hold number 7. You bring it down. Okay. Number 7. This is forward and up. This is 13. I already highlighted it. So hold number 7 forward correction is negative 1.8. Negative 1.8. And up correction for number 7 is, how much? Number 7 is 4.9 positive. So you put here 4.9. 4.9. Okay. Then, what is your departure drop? Departure drop is 12.63. Up drop is 12.90. And you have a trim of 27 centimeters, which is less of 3 centimeters. It should be 0.30. Okay? So we adjust this one, make this one to 12.62. So what we do, put this to 12.9, for example. What happens? So it's getting bigger. So you put it 12.7, 4.7, I'm sorry, 4.7. Then you have 12.62, okay? And the trim is 12.28. So we need 2 centimeters here to make it 12.90, okay? You put this to, let's say 5 meters, 5. Then you have 1292. Then you have now the exactly 30 centimeters, okay? But your deflection is 0015, so that's good. So you got your target drop of forward 12.62, up is 12.92, and you have here 12.62 and 12.92, and your trim is 30. Then your trim here is 30, and your main is 12.77, and you have here 12.77, and you have a 0 deflection. That's good. Then there's another a solution here. Okay. First, we want to load in hold number 7. Okay, hold number 7 of 1677, 1611, and the forward correction is negative 1.8. You have 1.8, and up correction is 5. Okay, and in hold number 2, you have to load 4105. Your forward correction is 4.7 positive, and your up correction is negative 1.7. Okay, this is our initial drop of forward is 12.25 and up is 12.35. After you want to load in number 7 so that you will have a good trim by the stern. So once completed loading of 1611, this will be your initial drop of 11.96 forward, and up will be 13.16. Then you will now load in hold number 2 with the amount of 1405. After completion of loading of 1405, your final drop forward will be 12.62, and up drop will be 12.92. You have a trim of 30 centimeters, and your main drop is 12.77, and your deflection is 0.015, which is the same here, okay? And your drop also with the same here. Then, the last program we're going to use is form number 7, which is how to find drop and aim when handling weights involving large changes in mean drop. Take note, guys, in form number 6, in stoppage by the foreman, the initial density is 1.010, and the final completion of density is 1.010. So that will be the same here. So the initial density was 1.010, and take note of the initial. So initial drop forward is 1.12.25, and up drop is 1.35. Okay, I mean the mean drop is 12.30, and the trim is 0.10. Okay, scroll down. Then you input now the how much you are going to load in hold number 2 and hold number 7. And we have here the LCG of hold number 2, the LCG of hold number 7. So we go to hold 2. And how much are we going to load in hold number 2 is, put it this way, number 2. Number 2 to hold is 1405. You put it 1405. 1405. And number 7 is 1611. So you load 1611. 1611, okay. And the LCG of number 2 is 6336. Number 2 is 6336. And number 7 is 6632. 7 is 6632, okay? Put this at the center. Then your final drop. And upon completion of loading, your density is also the same as 1.010, which is the same here, okay? And your final departure drop would be, your main drop will be 12.77, and your final drop will be, forward will be 12.63, up drop is 12.92, this should be 12.77, and your trim is almost 0.30 if you round, okay? This is a difference only because of the mathematical computation. Okay, guys, so that's it. But again, with the trim holes too, we are going to concentrate because we are asking, the problem is asking how much are we going to load in number 2 and number 7. So that was the question. But it never mentioned that we are going to load a total cargo of 3016. Okay? I just made a point that a Panamax vessel, usually 3,000 would be the least for cargo hold for trimming. Now let's take, I have here an Excel which I made, and this in questions with number 1, find percent mean drop, and this is the same with this one. Okay, so forward 12.5, 12.25 out, 12.35, your main drop is 12.30 and your trim is 0.10, okay, and it is the same with this one. Okay, then number 2, from hydrostatic table, get the value of MTC, LCF, and TPC. So scroll down. MTC is 95995. MTC is 95995. LCF is 0, negative 0.44, and LCF is negative 0.44, and TPC is 6385. 6385. Okay, then you go to number 3, correct the LCG of uphold to distance from LCF. Same name, subtract. And the answer is distance 6676. And you have here you have here 6676 and same name, subtract. So they have different name, then you add this one. Then the answer will be 6676. Okay, that will be number 3. Then we go to number 4. What is the distance between hold? The answer is 12968. The program says that's number 4. Number 4 is 12968. Okay, so I got here 12968. Then we go to number 5, change of trim. Find change of trim. The formula is final trim minus initial trim, or required trim minus present trim. If negative sign by the head, negative sign, that will be trim by the head. Since we are trimmed by the stern, it is positive. So the change of trim will be 0.20, and change of trim here is in number 5 is 0.20. Okay, then we go to number 6. Number 6, now this is the question now of how much are we going to load in number 2 hold, about how much cargo are going to load. The answer is 1404 or 1405, and this is the formula, guys. So number 6, I go to number 6 now. Number 6, this is now the formula. Distance up hold from center of rotation times remaining cargo to load minus change of drop times MTC times 100 over distance between hold. Okay, so what is the distance from uphold from CF, from center of rotation? There is 6676. That will be 6676. Okay, this one number 3, and the next will be the cargo, remaining cargo to load. Remaining cargo to load, which is 3016, which is this one. Remaining cargo to load is 3016. Okay, 3016, then minus change of trim is 20 centimeters, which is 20 centimeters by the stern. That's why it's positive. Then times MTC. MTC is 959.95. MTC is 959.95. Okay. Times 100. So you multiply these two. This will be the answer of 2013448.16, and multiply these numbers, then the answer will be 19199.0. Okay? This one, which is this one, and this one, this one. Subtract this together, this one, and the answer would be 1821149.16. Divide your distance between hold, which is 129.68, and the answer forward to be loaded is 1405, which is this one. 1405. Or to be run off, that will be 1405. Okay? 1405. And number 7, the cargo to be loaded in number 7 is 1611. 1611. Okay? The formula is remaining cargo, which is 3015, 3016, I think, 3016, okay? Sorry, 30, that is 3016, here, 6, minus your weight forward is 1405. It's 1405. 1405. Then the answer will be 16111. Okay, if you want to watch, the cargo is 3016 minus forward cargo was, the answer is 1611. Okay, that is your up cargo in hold number 7. Then the next, how to find the sinkage of 47, which is this one, or sinkage, which is this one, 47. Okay, this is the sinkage. Okay. How do you find this one? The formula is weight times TPC times 100. So weight is 3016 and TPC is 6385. 6385 TPC, and the answer would be 47. Okay, then there's another solution. Your departure drop is 12.77, which is this one. 12.77, or the main drop, and minus your present drop of 12.30, which is this one. 12.0, and your sinkage is 12.47, or 12.77 minus your mid drop of 12.30, then your sinkage is 12.07, which is this one. Okay, then you scroll down, Your present drop forward is 12.25 and up is 12.35. Apply the sinkage or parallel sinkage, then you add 47, 0.47, you add 0.47 because when you load this weight of 3016, the vessel is to sink. Okay? Sink. That's why you add this one, forward will be 12.72, add this one, up will be 12.82. Now look here guys, I will show you the diagram. Okay. The what is the LCB of 12.77? Okay. LCB, you go to the LCB of drop of 12.77, your departure drop is negative 693. Okay. So you go to negative 693. That will be negative 6.93. This should be the one. Okay. So this is negative 6.93. Take out this one. Negative. Take out this one. So from your image shift measured negative because your forward part from image shift going forward, that is negative. So that's you measure now from image shift going forward of about negative 6.93. So this is your vertical line of your LCB. Now what is the new LCG? Okay. We're now looking for the new LCG. Okay, the new LCG is, we go for number 6. Okay, the new LCG is positive 5.09, or this is the new LCG, or the new LCG is 5.90. Okay, that is positive. So from your diagram, okay, take note that going backward is positive, going forward is negative. So 5 point, how much was that? 5.90. 5.90. So what you do, copy, paste. What you do is put a line here. This will be your LCG. Okay. Copy, cut here, paste. sorry. This will be your LCG, this line, because its LCG is positive 0.90 something. .90. Okay. Your LCG is 5.90, which is this one, positive 9.90. Okay. He is now okay, put this up. Copy. Paste. He is now, what is the rule? Cut. Paste. Okay. Look here, guys. If LCG is above of LCB, then you are trimmed by the stern. Okay. Cut. Paste. So if LCG is above of LCB, meaning LCG is behind of LCB, then you are trimmed by the stern. And take note, guys, LCG is behind LCB, meaning he is trimmed by the stern. Meaning you are trimmed by the stern. Okay. And why is the arrow going up? Why is the arrow going down? Because our initial trim was 0.10, but you have, in the final loading, you should have a trim of 30 centimeters, meaning you have to go deeper, that you have to go down. So the arrow says, the arrow would be this one. So meaning up should go down deeper. So what we do here, okay, okay, and this one, the arrow should be, this goes down, this goes up. Okay. Goes up. And this one. Okay. Because from 10 centimeters, your new trim will be 30 centimeters. Okay? So, meaning you have to go deeper. This will move. From 10 centimeters, you have to go down, sink. Sorry. You have to sink up to 30 centimeters. That's why the arrow goes down. And this one goes up. So, it's like a seesaw. When this one goes down, the forward part will go up. See? Again, I will say, from 10 centimeters trim, when loaded of cargo of, when you load cargo of 3016, then you will have a trim of 30 centimeters. That's why this will sink more. Since this will go down, this forward part will go up. That's why you have a positive LCG, which is the final LCG. Okay, what is the final LCG is 5.90. Okay, that is the final LCG. Okay, that's why he is behind LCG, is behind LCB. That's why it's positive. Okay, the trim is positive. You have a trim of 30 centimeters. By way of figure, your initial trim was 10 centimeters, for example, but you want to make, when you load 3016 metric tons, this will go deeper until trim is 0.30. So when this goes down, this one goes up. It is the same with this figure. When this goes down further, this one goes up. Okay? So your initial trim was 10 centimeters. Now, your final trim is 30 centimeters. That's why this one will go down and this will go up. And your LCG is positive of 5.90, which is, you have, meaning a positive, your trim by the stern. Okay? So that's it, guys. I hope you like this video. If you like, please click the like button and subscribe. And please don't forget to click the notification bell. Thank you for watching.